All right. Ocala, Marion County real estate. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm Glenn Stein, broker, realty executives, located on Silver Springs Boulevard, 1008 East Silver Springs Boulevard. I hope everybody's doing well. So, some changes in the Ocala market. We're going to be talking about that. A couple of tips on getting your home sold, but real tips, not just plant flowers in front of your home and make sure everything is clean. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things on that. We're going to talk about months of inventory. So 18, actually over 1,800 homes on the market in Marion County. Remember where we're coming from, a low of in the 800s about 5 months ago. And now we're more than double that, but we're still lower than where we typically are, which is definitely closer to the 3,000 range. We've got 2 months worth of inventory right now, which has been pretty consistent. That hasn't changed too much over, the last 2.5 years, meaning we've also had, a lot of homes actually sell too. So it's very interesting as interest rates have gone up, like the Fed they raised the interest rate 3/4 points, and that means it's probably going to affect us in the next couple of weeks. So I'm expecting, more buyers to come into the marketplace. So, that's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. But, when you're looking at interest rate, obviously that's whether it goes up or down, real estate's in direct correlation to, interest rate. So we have to be mindful of that. When we're looking at the last 7-day numbers, for the Marion County market, which obviously is Denellen, Ocala, Bellevue, all the small towns in between, looking at 241 new listings that have come on the market over the last 7 days and 251 that have gone under contract, which means that we've seen a little bit of a pullback in inventory, slight decrease in inventory, significant numbers here. Like Marion County is a very large area, also includes like the northern end of the villages, like the southern end of Marion County is the northern end of the villages, and of course all the way up to adjacent to Alachua County, up by McIntosh, Orange Lake, all that area in the northern sections of the county that approach Gainesville. Price decreases 259, back on the market 66, closed or sold 229, 5 expireds, which a county this size is not very big. That means a home that went on the market and didn't sell and actually just basically comes off the market. Canceled 29 properties. So that's people just deciding, you know what, I don't want to sell anymore, right? So basically what we're seeing is some changes in the Marion County market. The days on market has actually gone up a bit too. So when we look at days on market, so let me show you, I'm going to do a share screen for everybody. We'll look at Marion County. We're going to look at 1,814 homes on the market is basically what we're looking at. That gives you an idea of the numbers that are out there. And we start looking at, do a share screen with you. This is what we're looking at. The days on market for active properties is, more than, 20, 30 days on the market. So you start looking at active days, 57, 115, 84, 97. This is different than what we saw before. A few that have just come on the market, 3 days, 58 days, 18 days, 53. We're still seeing there is some more inventory under the 200,000 mark. And I think that's good for people that are looking for something that's relatively affordable. So giving you some tips, it gives you a little bit of an overview of what we're seeing in the market right now. And I think that's important to understand what we're seeing. But when we're looking at the tips, I think there's some things you need to look at. Number one, you need to be looking at a realtor, an agent, a broker that's going to understand the market really, really well. So that's first thing. Second thing, and obviously help you navigate the market by understanding the numbers. And if you don't, and it doesn't matter where you are, some of you are not located in our area, make sure that you are communicating that with your realtor, with your agent, and make sure that they're able to explain what's going on in the market and where you need to be as a listing, as a seller, so you can actually get your home sold. So that's really crucial. If I had to name the number one attribute you would need when you're looking for a realtor, it'd be that, right? I've been in business for 20 plus years, sold a lot of homes, have coached people and helped broker a lot of deals. So pay attention to that. I would also pay attention to, something that is crucial is obviously pricing. And I think in this marketplace, the reason why I showed you those numbers on MLS right now is as long as we are mindful of the days on market, where if it's more than a couple of weeks on the market, it looks like they're really not selling unless you're going to make a severe price reduction. So the best time to sell your home is obviously getting the first offer that comes in, because your home looks like it's brand new on the market and the buyers are excited about that, as opposed to something that's been picked over, been on the market for a while. There's a little bit of a psychological element to it. So if you're not getting the showings early on, then you may need to reduce the price, get to that price as quickly as possible. That is going to cause your home to get showings and to get offers. So be really mindful and make sure that your realtor, when you're looking for the best realtor and the best broker in the area, make sure that they understand that whole concept. But only if you really need to sell. If you don't need to sell, if you're not super motivated, don't worry about it. Like it's not a big deal. But if you really do want to move, do want to sell, and of course you want to make the most amount of money possible, be aggressive in your pricing, because if not, as more inventory grows, you're going to have more competition. You got to be careful of that. But here's the not so obvious point that I think I need to make here. It's really, so I'm going to talk about this, and many of you in the public may not understand this, but this is really crucial. So there's something called showing time. Showing time is basically the tool that realtors use on MLS to set appointments for showing a property. In other words, put it on MLS, use showing time, and it's an easier, most realtors don't want to answer the phone, and it's good tech, and I understand that. I think my realtor friends will probably punch me and not be happy that I'm saying this, because it's a good tool to keep organized. But here's the problem. We're moving from a time period where the last 2 years, tons of showings, like the schedule's booked, like you can't get in because there's people, buyer's agents that are showing it. And it's like, oh my gosh, how do I get in? And it's created this frenzy. Well, now it's the opposite. So we're not getting, for instance, listings right now, we're getting maybe, as opposed to 5 or 6 or 10, 15 showings in a day, we might be getting 1. And that is also readily apparent and showable and viewable by other buyers agents. So if they're seeing that you don't have any showings, or you only have 1 showing in a week, they're going to say, oh my gosh, you're not getting that many showings, so I can offer less of a price because you're not getting any showings, nothing's going on. So pay attention to showing time. Like that's a thing, and I know the public may I have no idea what you're talking about. Ask your realtor to explain this process with showing time. So is this a wise move? And you can decide between your realtor, is it a wise move to actually use showing time? But giving you a recap of what we're seeing in the marketplace. So a little bit, over the last couple of weeks, a slight pullback in inventory, which is good. I think a healthy, comfortable range right now. If we settled in this range, I think everybody would be really happy. Be interesting to see if that happens with interest rates going up, because that's what we've seen over the last 4 months. Interest rates going up, inventory going up, prices starting to come down a little bit because you get motivated sellers that want to sell within a few weeks, and they're seeing that days on market is now in that, active days on market is probably in the 30, 40 range, and it's climbing. And that's why we're seeing homes that are on the market for under 10 days have a huge advantage. That's why you want to price it correctly in the beginning. The whole concept of leaving room for negotiating will leave you in a place as a seller where you're not going to get the showings, because there's too many other homes out there now with the competition that they can actually look at and make offers on. So that's basically what I'm looking at right now. If you have questions about this, contact me 352-572-3796 for any questions at all. Take care. Have a great weekend.